will be explaining the science topic for 6th standard students. In the previous session, we have learnt how the fibre to fabric is done. In the previous session, we have seen that the Fally and Bujo won the science quiz competition. By that prize money, they went to buy the clothes for the parents also. And they have seen a varieties of clothes in a shop. So we have done some of the activities and we have saw the how which are the types of the fabrics we can see in our shop, and we have done some of the activity by the cotton and yarn, how we can do a yarn and all, and the a splitting of the yarn into a strands and what is a strands, and we seen how the types of fabrics are available, and we have seen where the cotton is grown and jute, how the jute is prepared and cotton has came from. We have seen the source of it. Today we'll go for how the yarn is prepared from the cotton. Okay, who are new to my channel, please go through my previous session videos and you will come to know what we have learned in the previous session. Okay, let's move to the today's class. Today's class was to make a fibers, and all these fabrics are first converted into yarn. First we have seen how the yarn is prepared, and by this today we are converting into a yarn. Fabrics are converted into and how it is done we are seeing today. Let's go. Here 3.4. In 3.4, spinning cotton yarn. Today we are doing the spinning. Okay, we'll see it here what is the spinning and all in the next. You can try making a cotton and yourself. You can also try it's by yourself in the house or in the schools also. You can ask to your teachers how the yarn is made. We'll do one activity today and we'll go for activity 4. Hold some cotton wool in one hand. Just you take a little of the cotton wool, just keep it in your hand and pinch some cotton between the thumb and the forefinger. As shown here, you have to hold the cotton from the thumb finger at the right side and forefinger at the left side. You have to catch the cotton like this. In the format, you have to catch it. Now gently start pulling out the cotton. Here the man is pulling the cotton. Okay. In the same process you have to do it. Just pull the cotton. While continuously twisting the fabrics as shown in a figure 3.9 as shown here, you have to do it continuously. Are you able to make an? Yes, you can make an from this also. This process shows you how the an is made of. The process of making yarn from the fabrics is called spinning. We call it as this process. When we are doing this process, means the process of making the yarn, this process is called as spinning. We call it as spinning. In this process, fabrics from a mass of cotton wool are drawn out and twisted. Here the fabrics from the mass what we have collected the cotton wool from the drawing it's continuously making it twisted. So this brings a fabrics together to form a yarn. From the pulling a continuous cotton from the hands, how he is doing, it forms a yarn. By twisting the cotton continuously, the form of its from the fabrics is made as yarn. A simple device used for a spinning is a hand spindle. Here, at the earlier years, they were using the device. The device for a spinning is by the hands they used to make. After that, the device they invented a device. The device is a spindle. This is spindle. What they used to use it, and also called tackling. We call it as tackle. Call it as tackle. As shown in a 3.10. This is a 3.10. This is a tackling. Another hand operated device used for spinning is charaka. You all seen the Gandhiji used to show how the charaka is operated. You all seen it in the pictures and all. And after this thalak, Thackley, they invited another one device that is can operate it from the hands. The device used for spinning the is charaka. Okay, as shown in a figure 3.1. This is a charaka. Okay, this is a charaka. They used to use it. Use of charaka was popularized by Mahatma Gandhi. They have given here the Mahatma Gandhi was popularized by these charaka also. Okay, as a part of the independence movement, he encouraged people to wear cloths made of homespun yarn termed as khadi and shown improved cloths made in the miles of Britain. This charaka was came in a independence time, and he has encouraged to wear the clothes which is made of homemade. This is the homemade clothes. So he has Mahatma Gandhiji has encouraged the people to wear the cotton cloths which is made of themselves only. Okay, its name as khadi. Okay, to popularized and promote the khadi, the government of India constituted a body called Khadi and a Village Industries Commission in 1986. This process was came into a regular manner as in 1956. The government has made this constituted a body called Khadi, a Village Industrial Commission in 1956. They have popularized this cotton as a regular based. Spinning of iron on a large scale is done with the help of a spinning machines. Nowadays, for a large scale, okay, after some of the days they have improved the cloth designing and they have to improve the machineries. One cannot do all the things. So from the charaka, they have converted into a big machines. Okay, from that spinning machines, after spinning iron are used to making a fabrics. After we get the air, after spinning we get the air. From that iron the varieties of fabrics are made. I will show you the how they used to make. This is a cotton, as we have seen. By the hand they used to do, by the hand holding a one end of the cotton and pulling it to from the another end of the cotton. And this was the charaka they used to make at the, after the making a hand they came to this process making a from the charaka. Then they went for a machines. Sorry, they went for, after this they went for a big machines. Next, we'll go for a 3.5. 3.5 says us that yarn to fabric. We have made the yarn from the hands and the charaka. Now we'll see after the yarn how the fabrics are made. Okay, there are many ways by the which the fabrics are made the form yarn. And by the fabrics, the yarn from the yarn the fabrics are made. Then how there are the many processes to make this. But in your lesson they have given only a two processes. We'll see which are the processes. The two main processes are weaving and knitting. Weaving and knitting, these are the two processes they have mentioned in your chapter. We'll go for what is meaning. Weaving, in activity 2 you might have noticed that the fabric is made up of two sets of yarn arranged together. We have seen in activity 2 we have arranged the two fabrics of a set yarn arranged together. Okay, the process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric is called weaving. Okay, what they are saying, which process is called weaving means when the arranging the two sets of iron, means we have made the iron, right, by pulling or by the chakra. The two sets of iron together make the fabrics is called weaving. Let us try to weave the some paper strips. Okay, we'll do some activity here. How the weaving is made. Go through the activity 5. Okay, we'll do the activity 5 here. Take two strips of paper of a different color. Now you have to take two papers like this. Two papers you have to take it of a different color. One and two papers. This is a one and this is a second paper. It should be a different color. It may be a red or it may be a green here. Green, blue, red, whatever it may be. You should take a two strips. After taking it, cut in a square pieces of length and a width of equal to the 30 centimeter. You have to cut these paper pieces into a square shape and it should be a length of 30 centimeter. The length should be a 30 centimeter. Okay, the length should be a 30 centimeter from each sheet. Now fold the both the sheets into a half. You have to fold the both sheet into a half. This is a half and this is the second half. Okay, on one sheet draw lines as shown in a figure. You have to draw the lines. As you can see here, you have to draw the lines in this manner. You have to draw it. You have to draw the lines like this. Okay, from figure 3.2a, first we'll see by the A. This is a picture and on the other as shown in a figure 3.2b, like this B. This is a B. After folding it will looks like this. And cut both the sheets along the dots lines and then unfold. After cutting the dotted lines, then you have to unfold, means you have to remove the folded one. You have to make a straight paper. And then weaving the strips one by one through the cuts in the sheets of a paper as shown in a figure 3.12, sorry. After doing all these cutted lines, you have to do in this, you have to arrange the sheets in this manner. Okay, as shown in a figure B. Next, in a figure C, as shown in a figure C, they have shown here. After that, shows the pattern after weaving all the strips. You have to arrange the strips in this manner. After that, the weaving will be completed. It's look like these. It should be. I will say you. I will take an example of the that what we say mats and all. We call it in Kannada is a chape. The chape will be in this line manners and the color will be in a different. It will looks very beautiful. You can observe it in your house also. Okay, it look like this. It looks like a chape only. Okay. Next, we move in a similar manner. Two sets of yarn and yarn to make a fabrics. From these two sets only the iron is made up of, and the iron are much thinner. The paper is very thick, so here iron will be a very thin in shape, thin in a fabric. Okay, then our paper strips, of course, weaving of a fabrics is done on looms. Here it is called as looms. This is a hand loom. Okay, these cloths and fabrics are made by the these looms. Okay, and as shown in a figure 3.13, this is a handmade loom. The looms are either hand operated or power operated. So in earlier days they used to do by the hands. The looms were handmade. Now there are missionaries. So this is a power. We need a power for all doing this. Okay. Next, we'll move for a second process. Second process is knitting. Knitting means, have you noticed how sweaters are knitted? You can see or you can ask your mother how the sweaters are made. Okay, they used to do in a homemade sweaters or a scarf and all. They used to uh, doing the knitting in a house only. In the knitting, a single and used to make a piece of a fabric. As shown here, they have shown here how the knitting is made of. This is the knitting, this is the yarn, this is the yarn they used to do the what are the sweaters and all they used to do in this process. This is somewhat difficult, but when you learn this process it will be very easy to make our own clothes. Okay, I will show you another one picture. This is what we see for a what is that, weaving, and this is a knitting. The mother used to stitch the we call it as knitting only. The stitching is the machinery one. The one handmade one is knitting. Knitting, the mother used to stitch the cloth or a sweaters by this process. The yarn is used in this process. Okay. Next, in the have you ever pulled the ant from a torn pair of a socks? Just try it with your old socks. Take a socks, then at the end, I means at the corner part, you pull it the thread. Okay, what happens? Yes, you will get a single and gets pulled out continuously as a fabric gets unrevealed. Socks and many other clothing items are made of knitting fabrics. Knitting is done by hand and also on machines. The knitting was done by the hands or a machinery objects. From the machinery also it can be done. Just do it when you are free, and take a old socks. Don't do with the new socks, your mother will be scolding. So take a old socks and do this process, and you will come to know what is the yarn. You will separate the yarn and all, how the process was continuously done to make that complete socks also. You'll come to know by this only. Sorry. Next, we'll move on. Here, weaving and knitting are used for making a different kinds of fabrics. These fabrics are used for a varieties of clothing items. These two processes are used to make a different kinds of fabrics, like you can see the sweaters and caps, and you can see a small babies will put some cloths and all. Mother will make a who are interested, who have learned this process, they will make a cloths for the childrens and all. You can ask your mother also, if she knows she will show you how the process is continuously done. Okay, try it with your mother also. Let's move to the background of these fabrics materials, how the materials has come and the cloth has done and all. Here 3.6, history of a clothing materials. We'll see some history of the clothing materials. Have you ever wondered what the materials people used in ancient times for a cloths? It appears that in those times, peoples are used the bark and big leaves of trees or animal skin and furrows to cover themselves. In the earlier means ancient times, there were no cloths, there were no fabrics to put their cloths and all. They used the cloths in this manner, means they have used the leaves of a trees and the big leaves or branches. Means branches mean not big branches, they used to cut the branches and take some leaves and make themselves a protect from the leaves to their bodies. Otherwise after the certain times they use the lion or a tigers or a bear skins as their clothes. Okay, in the ancient times, not nowadays, they used to do all this. Now we have to not harm the animals anymore. After people begins to settle in the agriculture communities, they learn to weave the twigs and grasses into a mats and baskets. After some earlier years, after some years, they were living in agriculture. They used to eat the fruits and all. They came in an agriculture community. They learned how the things are made from the grass, like mats. They used to make mats by the grasses, and they used to make the basket. You can also see nowadays they used to make a baskets by the somewhat they make a baskets from the plastic. Now the earlier days they used to make from the sticks of the trees or the coconut trees. They used to do baskets from that. They have learnt all these things. And once animals fleshy or a hair were twisted together into a long strands. After some days they used to take hairs of the animals and do like a ants, and they converted into a fabrics or a strands. These were woven into a fabrics. The earlier Indian wore a fabrics made out of cotton that grew into a religions near the river Ganga. Here, who were staying out of all these, the fabrics are made of a cotton. From the cotton they made some fabrics that grew into a religions near the Ganga river. Okay, the flax is also a plant that gives a natural fibers. Here we have seen the cotton. In the previous session we have learned the what are the natural processes by the cotton is made, means or fabrics are made, means by the cotton, and here the another they have given a flax. Flax is also a plant that gives us natural fibers. And we have seen the cotton and jute also. The cotton plant and the jute plant also gives us the fabrics to make us a cloths. Here the another plant they have mentioned is flax. In the ancient agate, cotton as well as a flax were cultured near the river Nile and were used to making fabrics. In the earlier days, they were no, they have not invented any jute, means they used to use a cotton as well as flax, were the culture near the Nile. In those days, stitching was not known. In the earlier year, they were don't know about the what they used to how we can stitch the clothes and all. It came nowadays. Okay, people simply draped the fabrics around the different parts of their body. Many different ways of draping the fibers were used. In the previous means ancient years, they used to drap a saree, means they used to leave the cloths on the body, means they used to round up the cloths how they needed to complete the body, to not to show the body. They used to simply wrap the cloth to hold the body, that's it, because they don't know how to wrap the saris and how to put the saris and all. Saris otherwise chudis, pants, t-shirts, they used to don't know anything about it. They used to just take a cloth and make it like a fabrics, and they used to wrap to their body. Many kinds ways of wrapping fabrics were used. With the invention of the sewing needles, after that they invented a sewing needles. People started stitching the fabrics to make a cloth. Stitched cloths have gone through many varieties since this invention. By the sewing the needles, by sewing needles they had stitched the different types of cloths, and they invited the varieties types and the designs of the cloths. But it is not amazing that even today sari, dhoti, lungi or turban is used as an unstitched pieces of fabrics. But it is not amazing, but in the previous nowadays there is a varieties of cloths they have preparing, means they are making a different varieties of cloth. You can see shirts, saris will be not in a proper manner, they used to not use in a proper manner, they used to wrap it's a sari. But They were a beautiful and amazing saris in the ancient times. Saris, dhoti, lungi, turban. They used to put the turban and the like caps on the head, but it was amazing. Nowadays there is a different types of cloth. It's compared to the early ancient times, the dress code was very beautiful. Okay, is used as unstitched pieces of fabrics. Just as this is a large varieties in a food eaten all over our country, a large varieties exist also in a fabrics and a clothing. We have seen in the previous chapter, means chapter 1, we have seen in a chapter 1 food and all, we have seen it. There will be a varieties of a food eaten in all over a country. So after the certain time, we invented a different types of clothes, so that varieties of exist, varieties of types or a cloths were existed like a food also, and the fabrics also invented by the people. Here we can see the cotton rollers. From the cotton rollers, ginning, the fibers are made. Fibers, cotton, from the cotton rolls, fibers are made. After the spinning, they become a yarn. From the yarn, they become a fabric. How here we can see how the fabric is made up of fabrics. Fabric is made up of fabrics. First, we taken a cotton wool. I will show you the cotton roll. Here, the cotton roll. These are the cotton rolls. After that, what we have done the process? Ginning. Ginning, we have shown the thread. We can pull the thread and we can observe that the thread is become an, and it becomes a fabric. After spinning, we have done a spinning by the wheel. We call it as charaka. Okay. After spinning, we get a yarn. From the yarn, there are the two process we have learnt in this chapter is knitting and weaving. These are the two types what we have made. From the yarn, we made a fabric also. Okay. Next, cotton wool and fabric and fabric and knitting and knitting and spinning and weaving and yarn. We have seen all these process in this chapter, and I will show you the another one process, means how they man. This is the how the we call it as negi. The saris is made from this. Okay, and this was the modern charaka. And how the process we have seen here. First, the cotton, from the seeds we get a cotton. After that, we do it as we make as a thread, and we get a yarn from that thread. After that, we do a spinning. After spinning, we get a fabrics like this. After fabrics, we make a cloths in this process. This is the process how the cotton to a fabric we have made. Then we'll move on last of this part. Okay, we'll go for a summary of this chapter. There is a varieties of clothing materials or a fabric such as cotton, silk, wool and polyester. These are the types of fabrics which we can see in our daily also, or in a shops, which are cloth shops. They both went, the two friends has went, they both have seen the different types of clothes as cotton, silk, wool and polyester. Next, fabrics are made from the yarn. We have seen how the fabrics are made from the yarn, and which in turns are made from the fibers. Fabrics are either a natural or a synthetic. Cotton, wool, silk and jute are some natural fabrics, while nylon and polyester are some of the examples of the synthetic fabrics. We have seen the synthetic fabrics means which are not a natural process. It is come from the man-made process. Means nylon and polyester are some of the examples for synthetic fabrics. Fibers like cotton and jute are obtained from the plants. Here we have seen the jute and cotton fibers are it's a natural process. Okay, it's come from the plants. The process of making yarn from the fibers is called spinning. Okay, what we are making? Yarn from the fabrics the air is come. Okay, so the process is we have done is spinning. It's called as spinning. Fabrics from the air is made by the weaving and knitting. These are the two processes we have done from the fabric to air. Uh, Yarn is after yarn we get yarn, after that we have done the fabric. The process is by which process we have done. There are two processes they have mentioned in your chapter is weaving and knitting. These are the two processes. Okay, I hope you understand the what is how the fabrics are made and how the ants are made by the hands and how the cotton and jute has came, and all this we have done the some activities we have seen in this chapter is from the fabrics to fabric. Okay, I hope you understand this chapter clearly. We'll go to the exercise in the next session. Thank you children, have a good day.